And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier iHypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. And a very special warm welcome to all of you who tune into our uh, curated podcast, the iHypnosis Life Coaching Journeys. As you probably know already, or if you happen to be here for the very first time, this podcast is a special podcast because we make it a point to scan the length and breadth of not only India, but even outside. And we have a very, very special guest in our midst. The intention, of course, of the podcast is to find healers and coaches who are already out there doing amazing work, who've already started on the journey. And of course, you get to hear their stories. Literally, you can be that angel on their shoulders as they walk you through their life's journey. And the intention, of course, is that you be inspired by their stories and also be reminded that you're doing what you're doing because you had an idea once. And whether you're flying right now or whether you feel stuck, their stories are meant to make you realize that what, you're exactly where you're meant to be, and that if they can do it, you know that you will too. So with that, let us put our hands together and welcome Ruchi. Ruchi, of course, this is your cue. You can unmute yourself and turn on your camera. And
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much for inviting me. And it's really a great pleasure to be here. And to all your audience and to everyone who are watching us today,
yes,
we welcome you all. And with open hearts, we are going to share our stories so that
yes.
you can also connect with us. So thank you. Thank you so much, Rahul, for giving me
Thank you.
this opportunity to share my story and as well as connect with so many people from the heart, from my heart to their heart to your heart and to
Yes,
everyone's heart.
yes.
So thank you
Beautiful.
so much.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And as promised, we'll use this opportunity because these are very special moments where, especially at a point in a time like now, where we not only get to spend some time together, but people get to hear your story. They get to be inspired by your journey. So maybe we'll start at the top. And my first question to you, of course, is when someone says, you have a very I won't even pretend to pronounce your full name, but
It's
maybe we'll
Ruchi
start
Mystic
there.
Fenius. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. So if like someone asks you, so like Ruchi, what do you do? And they happen to see, Ruchi, I understand, Mystic, I understand. I'm guessing that's flan news or
Fenius, it's a
somewhere close
French
to it.
word. Yes.
Yes. So maybe we'll start there and tell us a little bit about what you do today.
Yeah. So basically, that though my maternal name is Ruchi Sardana, and after marriage it was Ruchi Bhutani, but
Mm-hmm.
this is what the name of my soul, that how
Mm-hmm.
I call it. The Ruchi Mystic Fenius is nothing but it's like in my journey there were a lot of things happen which even I can't myself even now I imagine like I go through all those things. So there
Mm-hmm.
was an element of mysticism. That's why the mystic and the flanius is just like it's a French word. It means
Mm.
wanderer,
Ah,
a
okay.
wanderer and a female wanderer. So the it's a
Mm.
feminine part of the flaneur and it's the flanius. So the wanderer. So I am nothing. I am actually nothing. I am just a wanderer who
Mm.
by God's grace got to have I can say the eyes or all
Mm.
the abilities through which I am
Mm.
able to see the unseen. I am able to
Mm.
see which is beyond the logics of
Mm.
a conscious mind. And so I always why this Ruchi Mystic Plan is because I always tell people I am not a guru. I am nothing. What
Mm.
I am just a wanderer. And with me, you can you can go by the journey because I believe in growing together
Mm.
because that's how reach out to her. You can no one can do anything alone. So I always tell I am a wanderer, and by God's grace, I have a beautiful eyes to see this beautiful world, and you can join me in that journey to
Nice.
see the world through my eyes.
Mm.
And
Nice.
the biggest vision that that I had been with me through in my
Mm,
heart since my childhood is of the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is the
mm,
one word, one big family connected through the
mm.
heart. And my core values also says that the connect and the love. That's only things that I resonate with.
Nice.
So this is what this is Ruchi Mystic Flaneur. So in that journey, through seeing the world from a different perspective. And what is that different
Mm,
perspective? It's like, we generally see this part, what is on the surface.
mm.
By God's grace, I they show me I can't do that. They show me not only this part, but this part, this part,
Nice.
this part, this part, this part. So I always say the 360-degree
Right.
perspective to see one thing. So that's
Mm.
what I am. The Flaneurs, I keep
Nice.
entering, I keep exploring, and I keep seeing the things from every possible angle, and
Mm.
that's what I keep showing everyone.
Amazing. So you've said so much, and there's so many different directions that we can go. I
Yes.
mean it in a good way. So maybe what we'll
Mm,
do is, and that's one of the reasons why this podcast is even designed and framed in such a way that even for people who are maybe they know you from before, or maybe they're coming across you for the first time, this is an opportunity for us to travel back in time with you, and for you to to share with us how all of this came together, because you speak with so much of flow and vision
yes.
and heart, right?
Yeah.
I'm willing to wager a bet that this wasn't all the time, right? So there must have been a period before this, and it could be as far back as you remember,
Yes.
when life was a certain way, and then of course we've all been through twists and turns of life. So it'll be beautiful to hear your story. We literally get to sort of be like the both the
Yes.
angels, not the angel and the devil, but both the angels
Yes.
sitting on your shoulder and
Yes.
traveling with you as you
Yes.
walk us through your story and how all of this came together.
Okay, so in fact, the glimpse of about my story, I had published a book also, Beyond Fear, The Tandav of
Mm,
Awakening, a journey of love
mm,
and self-discovery.
mm,
So it's just 5% of my journey in that book. But if I have to share that story, so it started somewhere. Obviously, COVID hit everyone,
mm,
right? But somehow COVID took brought a breakthrough in my life also. But
mm,
the journey started when I was about to have my first baby, first child. So the journey started from there for me. So it's like it started there, and when the COVID hit, it just took a sharp
mm,
turn.
mm,
So just a glimpse of what about me. So I am a fashion designer by profession, as in the
mm.
education, and then I did my masters in international trade management. So I used to work
Wow.
with export houses,
Mm,
and I, by God's grace, I was so dedicated that even in the time of a recession, I got the job,
mm.
and in every 6 months I got the promotion also.
Wow.
Right. But so the career was going that way. So from that fashion designer to the full-time healer and the therapist, it's a long journey, right?
Mm,
But to cut it short, so things were going good. Everything was like just like a normal life everyone was having. We were like, after I got married, then we started our own business. So there was the
mm.
first shift, entire shift from being a fashion designer to director operations of a IT and telecom company.
Wow.
That's my husband's venture. And
Mm,
from that, during the COVID time, what happened, work from home, everything was there. The businesses
mm,
was getting impacted. At that
mm,
time, we were working in 18 states in India.
mm.
And
Mm.
apart from India, the Africa was our major clientele, right?
Right.
So from that to this part in these
Mm.
last 5 6 years was like that. So what
Wow.
happened is like, during COVID, I was being blessed by another second baby.
Mm.
So that time things happened. So what happened is like it was a miracle for us, our second baby, because we had lost all the hope that we are going to have one. But the
Mm.
day I conceived, that's when all these things started happening. All these,
Mm.
you can say, people used to say it paranormal, but for me, it was all magical.
Mm.
right? It was all magical. So when the very first day, what happened is like the day I get to know that I am pregnant with the second baby, that's the day there were lots of questions that were happening,
mm,
lots of voices that I was listening all of a sudden. And my dreams, my sleep patterns altogether all changed. And the thing hit when doctors told us at I was, I think, 8 weeks or 10 week, 8, 7, 9th week,
mm,
and doctor gave me complete bed rest, that you cannot get up, otherwise it's going to be difficult for you, right? That changed everything. And then there
mm,
were days, sleepless nights, everything. And for people it was sleepless nights, but
mm,
for me things were happening. I was
mm,
seeing things. I started seeing things. So the very first thing that time I did was like I started getting attracted towards this energy world. I started
mm,
getting indulged into energy world. None of my family do tak,
mm,
anywhere. No one is
mm,
into that. But then all of a sudden these things came into picture. Reiki came into picture. Tarot came into picture. All those things kept coming into picture. I used to listen to these words
mm,
during my when I am resting. I used to listen to these words and then I used to Google it. Okay, what is this? I don't know. Then I
mm,
made my first call to someone. I was in Chandigarh that time. Right now I'm in Canada, but that time I was in Chandigarh. So
mm,
I made my first call to that person, one of the Reiki practitioner,
mm,
and I said, I want to meet you. She said, okay. I went there, and when I went there, that was my first breakthrough. I went there, and she said, why you want to learn Reiki? I said, I don't know. She said, okay, what brought you there? I said, I don't know. Said, what is happening? I said, I really don't know. All I know that there is something happening. I am being
mm,
pushing towards it, and I got your number and I called you and you asked me to come.
mm,
That moment she said, are you pregnant? I said, how do you know? Because that time it was just the 6 weeks and the final confirmation was
mm,
not there even. It was only the home test was there. I said, how do you know? She said, I can see him. Okay, then what does that mean? She said, just keep moving. You are being called for all these things, not only
mm,
for yourself. It is for for you. It is just a remembrance, but it is for your baby.
mm,
It is for your baby. That was my first calling. And after that, I'll say everything started getting downloaded. And
mm,
after 2 months, I ordered my first tarot deck. I never learned tarot, but now I not only read tarot, but I teach tarot. So it
mm.
started that time.
Right.
Then professionally, I did. Then obviously the pull was there. I was on bed. There was
Mm,
nothing to do. COVID was there. My husband take the actually the load because the little one was
mm,
4 years old at that time, and no, there was no house help and everything.
mm,
That time there was so much of pull. I started having lots of visions. Dream state were different. Started seeing the stories, starting lots of things, talking to the so all those things started happening and it kept happening. And then I professionally, it's like when you need it, they'll just come. So that's
mm,
when there was I was scrolling on the Facebook, and then I
mm,
saw a ad of a Reiki practitioner and I just enrolled for it. And within 3 months I reached to the Reiki grandmaster level,
mm,
and I also get be the member of the Reiki Council of India in just 3 months.
mm,
And she was telling me, Ruchi, इतना fast मैंने आज तक कभी किसी को ग्रैंड मास्टरशिप नहीं दी है. And when I am attuning you, I can feel that I am not attuning only you, I am attuning two people.
mm,
I am attuning two people. मैंने कहा, that's the divine wish. Don't know anything. I still
mm,
don't know anything. And
mm,
by the time by my first level and second level was completed, I was on bed, but I started getting people to heal them. So during my
mm.
pregnancy, I started healing people.
Wow.
Right. So that's how things take over. And then by the time my son was born, it was on 21st of August, right? that's also a very magical and miraculous story,
Mm,
that how things happened, how he was born, but not getting into that. So
mm,
next, coming to that, after he was born, before he was born, so the day before he was born, again, psychically, I was journaling something. What was that?
mm,
It was a letter from the soul to me, where he told me everything for what purpose he is here. So
mm.
I still have that. I still have
Wow.
that in my journal, what is there, what I have to do, all those things. And by the time he was turning one,
Mm,
it was like a major breakthrough, because that letter before he was born and the next 1 year,
mm,
it brought me to a level where I was able to see the past lives.
mm,
I was seeing. I was not like I was seeing all the past life, not
mm,
only mine, and whomsoever was coming near me,
mm,
just looking at them. It's like the movies flashing out, and I started
mm,
talking like I need to keep my mouth shut.
mm.
Stop. What are you saying? Because at that time,
Mm.
my mind was telling me, what the hell are you saying? From where it
Right.
is coming? But people were saying, just
Mm,
say it. Just say it. I was like, no, I can't
mm,
say it. Then then another guru came into my life, and I actually learned, did my certifications in past life regression and
mm,
hypnotherapy,
mm,
right? So that certification was from NGH US, right? And that was the first batch, first time that there was an Indian trainer who was affiliated with that. I need not to go to US. I did it in my
mm,
I did it in Bangalore. That's why I was telling you that I came
mm,
to Bangalore. So that was my official certification. And then there was another program of hypnotherapy, NLP thing. So I did all those things, right? And that actually shaped my life, because by that time, again, they asked me in the first day, why, what brought you here? I said, I don't know. They said, just do it. I am here. They said, just do it. Who said it?
mm,
I don't know. For me, it was always since my childhood, I was able to see a jyoth. And today also, it was the jyoth. That time, they questioned me on that jyoth. Or like, it's not like that. Who is that? You cannot
mm,
let anyone rule your life. I said, what's the problem in that? At the end of the day, someone is taking
mm.
care of us. So what's the point? And if I am
Right.
here, there must be some purpose behind it, because since
Correct.
my childhood, there was one thing: whatever happened, whatever is happening, and whatever is going to happen, it is for a reason.
Mm.
And the reason is all good things for everyone.
Correct.
We can
Beautiful.
never imagine what they had planned for us.
Right. Just for
Always in
context,
surrender.
I
Hmm.
didn't mean to interrupt, but just for
Hmm.
context, for people who are unaware, could
Right.
you describe what you mean by Jyoth?
Yes. So it's the so that's why they also questioned it. What's that, Jyoth? So to me, I always saw a light. So just like we lit a diya, right?
Mm,
So I
mm,
saw it in that form,
mm,
right? Then people questioned me, what do you mean, Manika? That's my divine. Like,
mm,
what divine? I said,
mm.
that's my divine. Right? So that's what you are
Yeah.
asking. So that divine is, for me, is that in terms of scientifically consciousness, right?
Mm,
We could talk about individual consciousness,
right.
then lots of individual consciousness make a group consciousness, lots of group consciousness make a collective consciousness,
Mm,
and lots of collective consciousness make one divine consciousness.
mm.
Same way, people stop here, but I say no.
Correct.
Lots of divine consciousness
Mm,
make a supreme consciousness, and then
mm,
lots of supreme consciousness make that one consciousness, which I call one big human being, in which the entire cosmos exists. So for
mm,
me, is that Jyot.
mm.
Right? So that time I was
Mhm.
not able to explain, but in terms of consciousness, yes, I can
Sure.
explain it now.
Mm,
And in terms of, those who are very religious, so if we say Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, the three consciousness,
mm,
because there are three things: the Shaivites, Vaishnavites, and the Shakta
mm,
followers, right? So if
mm,
you combine all three and that one source, That's the Jyot and the divine. For
Mm.
that was for
Nice.
me, but now I am
Sure.
able to explain it in all the
Mm.
context of
Mm.
religiously. And if I have to explain it for our viewers in a more detailed way, so individual consciousness is like we humans, or the things that we can
Mm.
perceive with our five senses,
Correct.
right? The group consciousness is also the people around us, the connectivity
Mm.
between that.
Mm. Mm.
Then these groups make a collective community, right?
Mm.
Then after this community, it's like lots of community combined to that planet. That is your
Mm.
oneness, one
Mm.
consciousness. Then
Mm.
there are lots of planets, and then there are lots of beings. Then we talk about, aliens, we talk about star seeds, we talk about lots many things. So these are also the divine consciousness. When
Mm.
all these divine consciousness from whichever realm or dimensions you talk about, when you combine them, then it becomes your one, that
Mm.
supreme consciousness. And
Mm.
in that supreme consciousness is everything. There are archangels, there are angels, there are the divine beings that we talk about. Then there are the spiritual gurus, those who we call like Mahavatar Babaji, Swami Vivekananda. They are immortals.
Mm.
They are part of this realm. Right now, whatever is there, different religion and different things,
Mm.
when they are also under one umbrella, that one umbrella is that the source.
Mm.
So that's how I define it. So
Nice.
that point of time I was not able to define, and they used to tell me भगवान किसी से मिलने नहीं आते हैं, and I was like,
Mm.
मेरे भगवान तो आते हैं. And I was so naive, and you know I used to cry because I was not
Mm.
able to explain it, right?
Mm.
So my whole journey, that Reiki was one course that I did, and then this hypnotherapy was one course that I did.
Mm.
To be honest, that course is helping me now. Why?
Mm.
Because right now I am in Canada, and
Mm.
I don't need any certification or license to
Right.
practice it here. Though in India, I
Mm.
was practicing it all over in the
Mm.
globe. Matlab, I had clientele from Australia, Dubai, UK, US. Okay? But when I am in Canada, now those certificates are actually helping
Mm.
me. So now I know,
Nice.
which I didn't know at that time, that why
Yeah.
I am there, because I
Yeah.
was already able to see all those things. I was
Mm.
already working on those things, but that gave me a professional structure, and that
Mm.
gave me a boost to my journey.
Right.
Right, that gave me a boost to my
Mm.
journey. And these are the only certifications that I had done so far. But rest of the things, I always say, it just get downloaded. My entire journey happened in my house, in my mandir, that's been
Mm.
created. And why it's been created? Because the question, what is that Jyot, what do you mean by divine? Because people have that hierarchy, masters, spirit
Mm.
guides, higher self, what's that, right? So that question stuck in me. How,
Mm.
who are you then? People are not
Mm.
able to understand you. Then I used to cry, I used to sit in my mandir, and then that formless took all the forms, and by their grace only, I experience all those consciousness sitting
Mm.
in my mandir, coming to me, guiding me, helping me. And then I used to use the labels. There was Rishi Agastya, Rishi Bhrigu, Rishi Dhanvantari in my healing. So I am just a
Mm.
medium. I am just sitting. They are coming, and things are happening through me.
Mm.
I just sit like that. That's it. Rest
Mm.
everything they do.
Mm.
Whomsoever needs to come, I just sit like that. Okay.
Mm.
And that's how during my journey, not only these rishis, but the Das Mahavidya experiences I had.
Mm.
Not for me, but it was actually every time when they got evoked, there was something or someone was coming which I was doing something.
Mm.
So it was all happening through me for whatever reason. I even didn't know what I'm doing. For me and for everyone, I was just sitting like that. The jyot
Mm.
was lit there. Apart from it, I used the dhoop and the agarbatti because I like the
Mm.
fragrance.
Mm.
That's it. That these are the only tools that I use, and
Mm.
I am just like that. They
Mm.
they are doing everything whatever they want to be happen through me. वो कहते हैं ना,
Mm.
करते हो तुम कन्हैया मेरा नाम हो रहा है. That's the same thing for me. So that's how the things. So das Mahavidya, and then pranic healing, then past life regression. Then I do the
mm,
surrogate sessions also. That's my USP.
mm,
So that what is that surrogate session is like the kids, the old age people, and the people who are not in their state of consciousness.
mm,
I do the things on their behalf. It's a combination of self hypnosis and going deeper to
mm,
see there from what is the root of their problems, going there, healing them, coming back, and seeing the change in their life. And then it's whomsoever needs to help, be it Ma Kali, be it Ma Tara, or be it Rishi Dhanvantari, for if there is a physical ailment. So
mm,
that's how it happens. So I become a medium for them, and I do things for them. I take on things. So it's like I always explain it, there is some person who is
mm,
in, to explain it metaphorically, is in a mud, right?
mm,
They are there, but they are not able to get out by themselves. So I get in there, I clean them, I take them out, and then I
mm,
understand what is there, so that the patterns, the things, they won't repeat, because they are not able to go and see themselves. So I see it
mm,
for themselves, I clear that mud, I come out, and then I make them aware that this was the thing, why this was happening. Now you are free from it, but you have to still learn your lesson at the soul level.
mm,
Until that, it won't happen. And that brings another thing into my life, that is body consciousness,
mm,
right? I am being researching, not I am being researching. It's like they are telling
mm,
me. So it's like the diseases where doctors say, no, there is no cure, and you have to be on
mm,
medicines every day, be it diabetes, be it cancer, be it thyroid, be it cervical, be it migraine. I work on those things, and by God's grace, people get cured. And no medicines, nothing. It's just going deeper into your,
mm,
tapping into your unconscious mind, understanding the lesson at the soul level. And the moment you get aware of that, the moment you learn
mm,
your lesson, that's when you are free from all that karma.
mm,
So so that's how lots of things. So this was the journey, and that's how from
mm.
there to
Yeah.
here where I reach. So I always say it's the divine grace. And it was, so there was a lady who actually helped me understand it. She said, Ruchi, we have divine knowledge, you have divine grace, and you know why?
Mm,
Because you are always in the surrender mode,
right.
right? So I always
Mm,
say, I can't do anything. All I can do is this. And that's what I do. And whatever they want me to do, whatever they ask me to do, I just flow with that.
mm, nice. Beautiful. So I have a question.
Yes.
There's obviously so much that has happened in probably the last 6, 7 years from what
Everyone
you've
or
shared,
everyone.
right?
Yes.
And in your story, you've kind of given us like a grain of
Glimpse of it.
sand of,
Yes.
right? I'm
Yes.
sure we could sort of have a much longer conversation on so many,
Yes.
sort of like uh,
Anytime. Hmm.
smaller aspects. But I'm curious to know, and I always, that's why I really look forward to these opportunities to speak like this,
Yes.
and more importantly to listen to your story.
Hmm.
So in your story, if you go further back in time,
Hmm.
right, what was like your earliest indication that sort of like this was the life that you were uh, meant to lead or that you would be leading?
Hmm. Okay. So, okay. By that time, there were indications I was not aware, to be
uh,
honest. The moment I started getting awareness, so my story started when I was 4 years old.
mm,
Now I know those were the
yeah.
indications, but then,
Yeah.
so what used to happen is like I used to get afraid of, because I used to listen to the voices
Mm,
in my childhood. And then there were, people around you. And by that time, there were no inverters and everything, right?
mm,
So it was always like when the light is off, everybody is
right.
coming out and in the streets and talking to each other. So there was, I still remember the face. So there was a bhaiya, the, the neighbors, and
Mm,
he used to tell the ghost stories.
Mm,
And I used to get afraid of that because
mm,
every time he was telling a story, that night I used to have experienced something
mm,
at the physical level, that someone is there. Since then, I tried to tell it to my parents, so everyone was like, "Oh, it's just the impact of that
mm.
story, right?" And
Correct.
there is darkness.
Mm,
And that time we used to sleep on the roof also, and there was a trend of sleeping outside also. That everyone is sleeping
mm,
outside. So I used to get afraid of, because I used to listen to the voices. I used to see
mm,
the dreams, and some of the dreams actually came into existence. So I started getting more afraid of me
mm,
dreaming. That's when, so slowly and gradually, what happened?
mm,
I cannot. I used to never used to sleep alone. I
mm,
could never sleep alone. I could never sleep. I used to sleep like, covering my head from, packing myself
mm,
so
mm,
that
mm, mm.
nobody can. So it happened till my college days. And that
Wow.
time I need to go to the hostel. And
Mm,
I was telling my roommate, I can't sleep alone. Can you please hold my hand? Okay, I used to hug a teddy and then again do that.
mm,
But
mm,
when I went to the hostel, the things got intensive. Why? Because the
mm,
dreams got intensive. I was all alone there, and that point of time, first thing happened. I became a workaholic. I used to read
mm,
books. So majority of the times I'm occupying my mind until and unless my body is not getting drained. I am working. Second thing, uh, I started listening to the music. That time, my dad actually bought me a Walkman, and
mm,
24/7, when I am not with anyone, 24/7 throughout night, I am listening to the music, which is like I'm not listening to the other voices,
mm.
right?
Nice.
And then by that time, I was not even aware of what a medium
Mm,
is. I'm not aware of what a channel is or a psychic is. Not
mm,
at all. That time, the very first hit was I saw someone going, and that came into picture in next 2 days.
mm,
I saw something that came into picture in next 2 days, and I started cursing myself because I saw that. That's why it happened. There was no
mm.
one to tell me, no, it's not because of you. You are just getting the awareness in prior.
Correct. Mm,
But obviously, there was no one. And by that time, in college and everywhere, there was nothing and no one. So there
mm,
was just one friend. I used to cry in front of it. I used to woke up crying what I saw and call him, and
mm,
I'm crying like, he never asked me any question, and I am very grateful to him that he never asked any
mm,
questions, and he just kept holding me until and unless I am not coming out of that fear. Because
mm,
after multiple episodes of those dreams coming into realization, it was becoming very difficult for me to
mm,
even acknowledge myself. So I started staying alone. I felt as if my presence is going to impact people,
mm,
right? So those were the indication that kept happening. And then my husband came into my life in my college life itself. And that's when, you can say I started feeling that much safe, that those things never happened.
mm,
And all those things started happening after almost 7-8 years of my marriage.
mm,
And when all those, so till that time the life was good, on the rocks, I was getting promotions, everything was there,
mm,
life was super cool, we were growing like anything, from
mm,
the job and starting our own venture, and then expanding it to multi
mm,
country.
mm,
And then in
mm,
India itself we were working with the 18 states, which was a
mm,
massive growth,
mm.
right?
True.
And then all of a sudden 360 degrees shutting it down, and
Mm,
for good 5-6 years just understanding what is happening with
mm,
us. So then what happened, when the COVID hit,
mm,
that time the energy was very dense.
mm.
That energy brought back everything.
Right.
So it started when I was 4 years old, but I get
Wow.
in this all thing get into my awareness 5 years back, when they
Wow.
come into full-fledged
Mm,
existence.
mm.
That's how. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm so glad that I something just kind of made me say, let me ask you this question,
Yes,
because
please.
there's always a, like a deeper, and it helps because, again, the reason why, like I said, we I want to know more about your story is because, again, this is meant to inspire other people, right? And I'm sure you know this, you're no stranger to this, but people who have that calling, that's why I call it a vocation. It's a calling to do the work that we do, right? Whether it's in the capacity of a healer or a coach, and what I fondly call the
Right,
healer coach, which means we're doing
right,
a mix of both,
right.
right? So there's something divine and beyond divine that leads us, that guides us. For some of us, we get very early indications of it. Some of us kind of follow through on it. Some of us go on a journey, and then we come back again, sort of full
Mhm.
circle, and then
Yes.
we go, "Oh, okay, I see it now. I get it." So I'm so glad that you shed light on how this came to be in your life, and I'm sure it will inspire others also to realize that, no, there, yeah, because it's very easy to forget that we are special, right? That as mediums, as receivers, or
Hmm.
vessels, we are unique and we are special. And sometimes, life can make us not believe that or forget that we're special. We all
Exactly.
knew it as kids, and then we forgot,
Right,
right?
right.
So maybe what we'll do now, because
Hmm.
you've given us a beautiful background to who you are, and it's
Hmm.
almost like, what makes you you. Maybe we'll kind of shift the frame a little bit
Hmm.
to one question, which is, in simple terms, it's like, why do you do what you do, right?
Hmm.
So, like in the work that you do today, what like you so far you've talked about your journey, which sort of like internal inspiration.
Right.
Now, share with us, in your words, um, what drives you to do this work, because I'm sure on the one hand it is very fulfilling, and yet on the other hand, from the outside, people will be like, wow, how do you do this?
Yeah.
So what inspires you to show up every day and be the mystic flanneus?
Okay. So again, like I told you, it started with my kids only,
Mm,
right? And
nice.
it started with my first kid. So when
Mm,
she was 1.5 year old,
mm,
so a lot of things happened with her,
mhm,
the paranormal things, and
mm,
nothing was working out. And I still remember, I can still see that thing when she
mm,
was 1 year old, and
mm,
my husband was out of station because of the work scenario. He used
mm,
to travel
correct.
a lot, and
Mm,
not only in India but outside India also. So
mm,
all of a sudden, she started behaving. She's 1 year old, not able to even walk properly, and then she started pushing me. It's kind of
mm,
some external energy thing.
mm,
So it was happening with her, and it was about night 2 a.m., and I don't know where to go. And the way she was behaving, the way her eyes were, it was not normal, and it
mm,
was scary also.
mm,
Seeing a 1 year old behaving that way was something. Then I called one of my neighbor who was into too much of the religiously puja part, but he
mm,
is aware of lots of as a kind of grandfather.
mm,
She took care of my
mm,
daughter that time. So I called him, and he chanted some mantras and everything, and she got to normal, right? And she was 1 year old, she was on the feed and everything, and for next 48 hours I was taking her in my lap because she was not eating anything, she was just on the feed,
mm,
and I was doing the Sundarkand part for good 48 hours. I didn't even move a bit. She was in my
mm,
lap, and the thing was spiraling, and one thing was happening. I don't know why it is coming, it is coming. The part was happening, the Sundarkand thing was happening, Hanuman Chalisa was happening, and there was a fly. I tried to, there was never a fly
mm,
in my house, and then there was a fly who was there, and was like, "What is happening? She's
mm,
not going. It's not going." I like, and then I was like, "Okay, let it be." I'll just focus on here. Okay? And the day, the moment that thing got over, that fly went away. Right?
mm,
So for me, since that day, the very first thing that was happening is, it's happening for a reason.
mm,
I don't know what. I
mm,
don't know what, but this is happening for a reason. That was the question, why it is happening. So it happened, right? And because there was a question in me that kept going on 24/7, right? That became my driving force. Why? Because even that time I didn't know it's a driving force, but that was just a question.
mm,
But after that, series of things started happening. One time or the other, something, one time or the other, something. And then
mm,
for too much, to what extent you are going to take your kid anywhere and not knowing what is happening. So
mm,
then I again sat in my mandir with the same thing. That was the first time the Shiva consciousness came into my picture, came
mm,
into my existence, my awareness. And that's when I saw all the past lives of my daughter and me being together, and what
mm.
are the things that are still left. So I saw, so in a nutshell, if you are okay, I can share a glimpse of the
Sure,
story. So what
sure.
happened is, like, I saw one life, right, where
Mm,
like a happy family, we were there. And the moment,
mm,
when the parents had to go, we die. She continued her journey, and she was in a grief, losing her mother.
mm,
Then the next life, she was aware, everyone was aware that, obviously I am ill and I have to go. Acceptance was there, so everything went well. But
mm,
after few years, the things came, because when she became a mother, so I had a pattern at the soul level where I used to go early. I had a very short
right.
lifespan,
Mm,
right? And now it is not in anyone's hand,
mm,
right? But at the
sure.
end, nobody goes anywhere. It's just the form change, form to formless,
Mm,
right? Form to formless. That's how I communicate
mm,
to the soul. That's how I
correct.
communicate to the. So there is no different dimensions. Also, it's
Mm,
it's here only. It's just
mm,
our five senses are not capable of tapping into that frequency,
right.
right? So
Mm,
I saw, I am standing there. She is not able to see me. She's not able to listen to me. I'm trying.
mm,
Nothing happening. Then next life I saw that I started initiating, or
mm,
teaching her how to connect. But that time she was not aware. So I saw she is crying and telling me, when she became a mother, who is going to teach me all these things now?
right.
Right? So there was a calling, there was a pain, right? So in this life, she is the elder one. Before my younger one was coming, I was on bed. At the age of 4, she started learning to take care of me.
Wow.
By the time my son was here, why I
Mm,
was able to do all those things in these 5 years?
mm,
Because my daughter was taking care of the son. She learned how to take care of a child. That
wow.
was the first thing. Second thing, my daughter, when she turned 2 years, she asked me one thing when she started talking: telepathy. She used to repeat it
Mm,
again and again. And then when she turned 3, she says, Mama, I want to learn telepathy. And at 3 years
wow.
asking for a telepathy, when nobody knows about what
Right.
telepathy is, I myself wasn't aware of. So she brought to me that word telepathy.
Mm,
And I go, okay, baby, let's do it. We will do it. Right. By the time she was 5, and obviously my son was born, she was 1 year. I got
mm,
that thing. So we started communicating at the subconscious level even more.
mm,
So by the time she turned 7, so it's not in me, it was just the
mm,
presence. She was learning it
mm,
by herself, how to
mm,
communicate, because that was what is left in that life,
right.
where she knew that nobody goes anywhere, but she was not able to connect with me. So
Mm,
she was meant to learn this thing. That's how things started getting downloaded,
right.
and I started teaching it to people. But the
Mm,
best part is, she is always with me.
mm,
She is always around me. So in the presence, in whatever I am going through, it's happening. It's actually happening for my kids
sure.
only. So that's my driving force. And then after that, when I told you the Das Mahavidya things happened, those
Mm,
Das Mahavidya things happened. Why? Because there were lots of other things uh, coming from the past, from which I needed to protect my kids from. So
Mm,
I was like sitting there present. Everybody was telling me, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing anything. It's
mm,
happening. It's happening. It's happening for a purpose. It's happening for a reason." Nobody was believing me, and everybody.
sure.
I am like
Mm.
had gone through a lot of things you can't even imagine, because you are fighting for it, because
Correct.
things are happening, you don't have any control over it.
Mm,
The consciousness kept coming, they kept telling you things. Nobody is going to believe that. But when
right.
my son was born, yeah, that was the point when everybody started believing. So what
Mm,
happened, he used to get ill. Astrologically, astrologer also said that he is going to have the, the
mm,
nose thing and everything throughout the life. He is never going to be a healthy baby, right?
mm,
So things started when he was 6 months old. We went to every doctor, we went to every kind of person, everywhere.
mm,
So for
mm,
good 3 months, everybody tried everything. And
mm,
then I came, I said, is it okay if I do what I need to do now?
mm,
That's when I started healing him. And for good 6 months,
mm.
I was holding my baby. He was vomiting. That's how he cleared everything that he was carrying. And after that, there are kids, there are weather change, everything is happening.
Sure.
He is all good. So then I, in his just to give an example to our viewers
Mm-hmm.
also, in his past life, he had asthma, and he died at the age of 17 in that life.
Mm,
So the soul was carrying all the impressions of asthma. That is one reason I started researching on the diseases,
right.
right? So I didn't talk to people. It's like people came to me, they have those
Mm,
diseases, and I started the divine started showing me from where these diseases are coming from, way too back, and how it is being in this present in this life.
mm,
Why? Because there
mm,
were lessons, there were things, there were understanding, there were awareness, there were soul lessons. So gradually, the past, I helped my kid to clear, because that was a soul contract with him, that I'll
mm,
be clearing that. And I didn't do that. The divine did that. They made
mm,
me do that. So in that process, I become who I am now.
mm.
So my
Wow.
kids brought everything out of me
Mm,
and made me do everything, and let me not go to the people but talk to that divine.
mm,
It everything is there. So I always say scientists are not inventing anything.
mm.
They just got the eyes to see what is already there. Because in
Right.
that bigger umbrella,
Mm,
एवरीथिंग इज देयर. वी आर
mm,
जस्ट, so अभी जैसे हम बात करते हैं ना, साइंटिस्ट हैं जो ये इन्वेंट कर रहे हैं, वो इन्वेंट कर रहे हैं,
mm.
नो, इट वाज ऑलरेडी देयर इन द सतयुग
Ah,
आल्सो, in a
right.
very different and a divine way.
Mm,
So from
mm.
that divine consciousness, we are bringing it to the physical consciousness,
Right.
right?
Ah,
So that's for me also, it was already there, and it's just get downloaded
mm.
because of my kids. That was my driving force.
Wow. Amazing. So one more segment in this context, like you've talked, it's beautiful how you've shared your story and from within to now sort of like the external. Walk us through the third part, if I can call it a third part, which is you know today in the work that you do, and you've mentioned already you've worked with people from different, literally different worlds, if you want to call it that, right? What people call the first world or second world or third world or whatever, like how one wants to
Just one word.
one world, right?
That's
But
it. Just one word.
people label it differently. But my point
Yes.
being
Hmm.
that just for context, if you
Hmm.
share with us, Ruchi, it's like when you do the work today, what, like sort of like give us a bird's eye view of like, or we are sort of like the fly on the wall, literally the fly on the wall, and just sort of like what typically happens when someone comes to you, and what's that like? The reason also I ask you the question is because
Hmm.
one part of doing these pods is so that people get to know you, people get to hear your story, and also we don't know who will see this, who will share this with somebody else who's
Who is
as
meant
you
to
know
be
this,
will.
right?
who is
right?
meant to.
So, so in your words, if you can share with us, typically what happens in the work that you do today.
Okay. So, like as you introduced, so before I answer this, I want to add a small thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
always say, it's a pomegranate theory. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone had seen a pomegranate, right? So how
Mm-hmm.
the seeds are there? They are all connected,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I call it, it's just that, one divine consciousness. So what you said, who is meant to? So that pomegranate, all those are meant to,
Mm-hmm.
which are meant to be in your periphery, they will be there. वो एक structure है already.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you do it or don't do it, they will come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether I was doing it professionally and whether right now I am doing it professionally, people kept coming,
Mm-hmm.
right? So for good 5 years, for good 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
I was doing everything for free,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Nice.
Because that's the way it was happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But slowly and gradually, I shifted it to make it a profession, right? So that's now the question that you asked for, what
Mm-hmm.
things happen. So by God's grace, I would say by God's
Mm-hmm.
grace. So majority of the times, I am aware of the people coming when
Mm-hmm.
and the things. So just to give you a glimpse of metaphorically how things happen for me, it's like I'll say there is my healing space
Mm-hmm.
energetically, right?
Right.
So when the thing started, so there were first, mm, my closed ones, my loved ones, then the
Mm-hmm.
circle expanded to the extended family, right? And then the circle. So that point of time, I used to that since my childhood, I used to see a dream, right? So what I used to see a dream is like there's a very big house, and there is a swing, there is a Shiv mandir,
Mm-hmm.
going upstairs, and I am sitting on that swing with my life partner, and there are lots of people, and I used to call them, that's my kutumbukam, that's my garden of love,
Mm-hmm.
that's my garden of love. So slowly and gradually in these last 5 6 years, from those, the family,
Mm-hmm.
I started seeing green colored beings, and there were lakhs and lakhs in numbers,
Mm-hmm.
right? And my number is like five, so I got to have the number five, 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 the 5,000,000, 55,
Mm,
five, 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 five,
mm,
five, five.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
I used to see that person. So from last 3 years, what is happening? Those green beings are taking the form of humans.
Nice.
So first thing, so I know, and then because I am seeing them from last so many years, so I know the energy thing, I know the soul contract, I am aware of
Mm,
that, what is what there. So when anyone comes to me, so now, professionally, how it happens is like, they book a clarity call with me. So
mm,
even before a clarity call, that's a professional part, as you know about Vishakha also. So how it's like, I am aware, we get in touch somehow,
mm,
somewhere, right? And then the very first conversation is when I am talking to them, I am telling them which they haven't even shared with themselves or anyone
mm,
else. The first conversation is always a healing part,
mm,
where the awareness part, right? Which builds the trust. How do you know? I said we are meant to meet. That is the purpose and how it's going to be, right?
mm,
And when it comes to professionally, so I book the clarity call when the person comes. So the purpose of the clarity call is to give you the clarity, and
mm,
me myself have the clarity, what is the concerns, because people come to me for the surface level concerns,
mm,
right? But there are deeper things. So in that clarity call, I generally scan if I am not still not aware of. Sometimes, you are aware of some people,
sure.
but you are not aware of what are the things that you, because
Mm,
otherwise your mind will get you'll crash
mm,
that much
mm,
data. So earlier it used to happen that way. It's like coming. Like I can't manage it. Then I made a system of it.
mm,
So whenever anybody is coming in the clarity call, I just know they tell me this is the thing, and then
mm,
I tell them what exactly is there. Instead of asking, I tell them,
mm.
and then they
Right.
validate it.
Mm,
Then they validate it. Ki, okay. So that's where the thing is, where I am an energy reader. So I am not just telling you what is you are saying and what you can acknowledge through your
mm,
mind. I am telling you what is in your energy, which obviously which is going to be, energies never lie. So
mm,
that builds a trust also, and that give them a better understanding of what they are going through.
mm,
So majority of the times it also happen that the purpose of that person coming to me, my life, is that the awareness. We never
mm,
met after the clarity call, and I'm aware of that.
mm.
This person is going,
Correct.
the purpose. So they say, why you are so, sometimes clarity call go to 2 hours. I
Mm,
never bind it with time. Why?
mm,
Because I always say the purpose of you talking to me needs to be fulfilled. Otherwise, it will keep happening. You will keep coming and you
right.
won't get it. The purpose is you should have the clarity where you are standing and what you need to do. So in the clarity
Mm,
call, I give them the awareness, what is the
mm,
concern, on
mm,
what thing they need to work, and what is the path, right path for them. And then
mm,
whether you like to do it with me, you are most welcome. If you don't want to do it with me, you can go to anyone, but follow that path, because आज की
mm,
हमारी इस clarity call का purpose पूरा होना जरूरी है. Being a medium,
mm,
I am just a
mm,
medium. So people
mm,
do connect with me for the sessions and for the services or the coaching programs that I run, right? Otherwise, they want to part of my community where I keep on doing the free
mm,
things. They can be part of that, or
mm,
there are people, that's the only purpose between us, and after that we never met.
mm.
So
Right.
that's what happened. That's how it happened.
Beautiful. Mm,
So it's more about the purpose, the soul contract, and everything. So that is why whatever is there then and there in that now, it's done.
nice. Beautiful. So one final
Yes.
segment, if we can call it that,
Hmm.
which is what we call the journey of mentors. And of course, before we get to that, I must say that it's beautiful how you've taken us through your journey and shared so much of deep insight and such powerful stories. So I know for those who were meant to listen to this, whether it's live or as a recording, at whatever point, this is really going to open up a lot for them, open up their hearts, open up their minds. So thank you for just being yourself, being you, and sharing your stories here. So
Thank
as I
you.
said, one final segment, which is the journey of mentors.
Hmm.
So if you can, like, this is a very, very important piece in the lives of people who are healers and coaches like us, which is, and I noticed this, like today we are now sort of moving into the 80 plus episodes that we've been recording.
Yes.
In the first 2025, I kind of noticed it, but it didn't strike um, until it did, which is this segment, which is the journey of mentors. It's so important to take that time to reflect uh, on the people that showed up in your life when you really, truly were ready to receive them. And for me, I realized this is an opportunity for the guests to uh, express their gratitude for people who showed up. That's one part. But more importantly, we never know who we talk about being our mentors. Sometimes they, in turn, people who are watching this, are meant to hear these about these people, or meant to find them, or that sort of like creates more branches
Right.
in our listeners and viewers journeys. So do share with us, who are some of these people that stand out the most for you, who were your mentors, or people who showed up at just the right time when you knew that, or when you realized that, okay, this is the person who's meant to come into my life. So do
Mm.
walk us through some of these stories and names of these people as well.
Yeah. So the very first person who is my backbone is my
Mm,
husband. So
mm,
he is The support, the level of support, the emotional support and the physical support that he gave me, it's, there are no words to explain that. And that's his journey of being a emotional wellness coach, right?
Mm,
So the very first person that I want to thank is Kapil Bhutani. He is an emotional wellness coach, and just like you,
mm,
mindset coach, NLP practitioner.
mm,
So, you know, because whatever you are going through, if you don't have any support, you
mm,
cannot reach here. You cannot reach anywhere. That is why I always say growing together is such a beautiful thing,
mm,
because even the person is not, there were times when we were not able to even know and understand what is happening in our life.
mm,
What the hell is happening in our life,
mm,
from a normal life to something, it was a blast for us, because now we are
mm.
talking it with a smiles, but that time
Yeah,
what we were going through and nobody was able to understand. But
true.
you know even being there, even I really don't have words how to say thanks to
Mm,
him. So
mm,
he is the very first person. And if I need to talk about the professional support, whom matlab, they came in my life for a very short span,
mm,
but
mm.
what they gave to me,
Yeah.
my breakthroughs, is one is Mr. Sajan Galani. He is also a hypnotherapist, right?
Mm,
And he keep on
mm,
doing his seminars all over the world, right?
mm,
So he is one of that person, and very, very down to earth, very
mm,
sweet, and very much aware,
mm,
right? And I can still see his face. The
mm,
way my first breakthrough happened in his 2 days workshop, and the way he was smiling back at me, telling me with his smile, "You got it, girl, go for it."
mm,
The first trust that you are not doing anything wrong, whatever is happening
mm,
with you, it's a blessing, it's not a curse. His smile said it all.
mm,
So I really want to thank him for being here.
mm.
And then there was another person in my life. He is one of my very good friend, and he is, mm, his words I still remember. I met him when the COVID lockdown, uh, partial open was
Mm,
there. So I
mm,
went
yeah.
to meet him, and the only thing he said to me, "Ruchi, you have wings. Why are you not spreading them?"
Mm,
So these three people I really want to acknowledge.
mm,
Right. He is Sanjeet Singh Paul. He is a financial advisor with
okay.
Modular Capital. So
Mm,
you can also, connect back with him,
mm,
because it's not about the profession you are in. It's more about the person you are.
mm.
Right. Because I believe in a thing, every person, every human being is a guru as well as a disciple at the same time.
Right.
For me, I always go like this way, in a surrender mode. So
Mm,
first I become a disciple and then I become a guru. So whomsoever is
mm,
coming to me also, so I am not healing them. They
mm,
are giving me the opportunity to keep growing. If they are
mm.
not coming to me, I won't be reaching anywhere.
Yeah.
So I am their disciple. So to everyone who had come to my life, they had taught me a lot. I am who I am because of everyone. So
Mm,
these three people I acknowledged as in a professional and the other context.
sure.
But
Mm,
this thing will be incomplete without mentioning
mm,
the first guru, my parents,
mm,
right? Because I always say my parents, my mom and dad, right?
mm,
They didn't only taught us, we are two sisters, what we should do. They had also taught us what we shouldn't do,
mm,
right? And it is not only about teaching the guiding the things. It is
mm,
about, they taught us how to observe life, how to learn from life, and
mm,
whatever is happening, how to learn from that particular situation. And that is why when, there were valleys and valleys and valleys, and when I was not finding any hope, and wherever
mm,
I was going, and everybody was telling me, you are doing wrong, you should shut down, you should do this, you should do
mm,
that. That point of time, the divine hold my hand, because
mm.
my parents taught me that
Yeah.
whatever is happening in your life, it is happening for all good things. You just need to learn to see that beauty in that.
Mm.
Life is very beautiful.
Nice.
Life is really very beautiful.
Mm,
And it is, again, it's how you see it. So there is a very famous line, I really love that. Radha ji said, the day जिस दिन आपकी दृष्टि बदल जाएगी, उस दिन आपकी
mm.
सृष्टि बदल जाएगी।
Wow.
राइट? जिस दिन
Mm,
आपकी दृष्टि बदल जाएगी, उस दिन आपकी सृष्टि बदल जाएगी। सो फ्रॉम एवरीबॉडी टेलिंग मी कि यू आर डूइंग रॉन्ग, दिस इज व्हाई दिस इज हैपनिंग, दिस इज व्हाई योर किड्स आर
mm,
सफरिंग, यू आर, आई
mm,
टेक देम, and then I saw them from my eyes, which is that mystic flanneus eyes, and the
mm.
life becomes beautiful,
Nice.
and I become what I was. So there is one
Mm,
thing, there is a program that I run, Unveil the Inner You, the Extraordinary You. So
mm.
people ask me, we are not extraordinary, we are just normal. Manika, that's how people want you to see you.
Correct.
We all are extraordinary because we
Mm,
all are unique divine consciousness. Har Nar
mm,
Narayan वो एक्सपीरियंस करने आए हैं यहाँ, और एवरीबडी इज एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी, इट्स जस्ट हमें वो एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी देखने के लिए
mm,
बंद करा दिया गया है।
mm,
सो माई पर्पस इज अनवेल द इनर यू नहीं है, वो लोगों को
mm,
समझाने के लिए सेल्फ डिस्कवरी एंड
mm.
इनर वर्ल्ड, इट
Sure.
इज एक्चुअली द अनवेल द एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी यू। वाई? बिकॉज वी
Mm,
ऑल आर इन आर ओन सेंस, इन आर ओन पर्पस, एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी बींग्स।
mm,
We just need to unveil that. So somebody asked me,
mm.
why you used unveil? I said, because you already are. I am just reminding
Mm.
you.
Correct.
I am not bringing it out. I am not
Mm.
making you something. I am just reminding you who you are.
Correct.
The
Ruchi, I
extraordinary
have a
being.
question here because
Yes,
you said
please.
something very powerful.
Hmm.
Um, you said people sort of make you, put you in that drishti, if you want to call it that view
Vision, right?
or
They give
vision
you
or
a
a
limited version of you, that
limited
this is
version,
how
right?
you
Or a
need to be.
filter, right?
Right.
From what you have seen and received in your in these last so many years, what's your intuition saying? Like, why is it that people do that?
Okay, that's a very deep and thoda, little controversial also.
Mm,
So, yes. Okay, so how I see it, as I received it,
mhm,
that's why,
yeah.
on that mission of
Mhm,
Vasudev Kutumbakam. So this is the story behind it actually.
mhm, mhm.
So when I was on my journey and when I was seeing these things, we have time because it's a
Yes, of
little
course.
small
Yeah, yeah.
story,
We
right?
do have time. Of course.
So I have to explain it
Mm,
in a story and a metaphor way,
mm,
right? Which will
mm.
help people understand
Yeah,
it. Otherwise, it
yeah.
would be like, हवा में हो
Mm,
जाएगा सब कुछ,
mm,
समझ
mm,
नहीं आएगा.
mm, mm,
So I used to talk about, I used to say it a lot,
mm,
think about it a lot. There is a sea,
mm,
right? And एक
mm,
पानी की ड्रॉपलेट, वाटर
mm,
ड्रॉपलेट इज सेइंग, बहुत सारी बूंदों से मिलके समंदर बना है,
mm,
या समंदर का है, मुझ में बहुत सारी बूंदें हैं. व्हाट्स द
mm,
डिफरेंस? यू टेल मी.
mm.
व्हाट्स द डिफरेंस?
Wow. Uh, the second one feels more deep. The first one sort of is more
Surface,
external.
surface level,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So now see that droplet as individual consciousness and see
Mm,
that sea as the source,
mm.
right?
Right,
I hope I am
right.
able to make it easy
Yeah,
for
yeah,
everyone to
yeah.
understand,
I'm sure.
right? Right. So during my journey, what was happening, when that droplet tries to be big, to be part of a pond,
Mm,
I think I You got it what
Keep
I'm
going.
trying
Keep
to
going.
say.
But keep going. I love this. Yeah.
Right? So that droplet, when it's tried to reach out to people, to connect with
Mm,
people,
mm,
then there is a resistance, because
right.
then it's a droplet. I am
Yeah.
making the sea,
Mm,
the ego.
mm, mm,
No, no, you are not making. I am making the sea.
mm.
Okay, but then fighting, 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 because
Correct.
then it becomes a pond. Or
Mm,
you can glass of water, first from a puddle, then a
mm,
pond,
mm, mm,
then a river, then the sea,
mm,
right? And
mm,
now the other part of the story, the sea, it splits to the rivers, it splits
mm,
to the ponds, it splits, small, small things, and then the,
mm,
water cycle keep happening,
mm.
the rain cycle and
Correct.
everything,
Nice.
right? So
Mm,
if we talk about why it is,
mm.
s- so it is again in the drishti
Huh.
of that individual.
Right.
It's not in the drishti of the
Correct.
universe.
Mm,
बिकॉज़ जहाँ पे आप रिवर दिख रही है ना आपको, वो रिवर रिवर कैसे वो आपको इंक्लूड कर रही है।
mm,
वो
mm,
कम्युनिटी आपको इंक्लूड कर रही है।
mm.
इट्स दैट ड्रॉपलेट हू इज़ विलिंग और नॉट।
Right.
हू इज़ सो टू एक्सप्लेन इट, देयर इज़ एन आई,
Mm,
one I which says I am the body, I am the mind, and I am having identity, which is the
mm,
I am using this word though I don't like it, but to explain it,
mm,
ego self,
mm,
identity self. And
mm,
then there is a I which says I am not the body, I am not the
mm,
mind, I
mm,
am the self, which is the Lord Krishna say, I was, I am, and I will. So it is the divine
mm.
perspective, it's the individual perspective. So it's the droplet
Got it.
perspective and it's the sea perspective.
Mm.
Right? And when
Nice.
people in the spiritual world say, keep on raising your vibration, keep on raising your vibration. So what we are doing? So I always say to the spiritual seekers specifically, कहते हैं हम उस परमात्मा का अंश हैं और उस परमात्मा में ही जाके मिलना है. We are
Mm.
coming from the source and our
Correct.
purpose, sole purpose is to reach
Mm,
back to that divine only.
mm.
Right?
Yeah.
So now I say, can you reach back to the divine? Do you have that power?
Mm.
Can that droplet reach to the sea back? No.
Right.
उन्होंने ही निकाला है, वो ही लेकर
Mm,
जाएँगे जब आपका टाइम होगा, पहली चीज़। सेकंड चीज़, अब जब हम इसकी बात कर ही रहे हैं कि वो
mm.
ड्रॉपलेट वो है, और फिर एक और कॉन्सेप्ट आता है मोक्ष एंड निर्वाणा का, एंड एवरी स्पिरिचुअल बीइंग आर डूइंग ऑल दोज़ थिंग्स। सो
Correct.
आई ऑलवेज़ टेल एवरीवन हू कम टू मी, यू कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग, you cannot reach anywhere,
Mm,
you can just become that.
mm,
Why? और वो become
mm,
कैसे होगा? You cannot do meditation. In the name of meditation, you are just distracting yourself from one thing to the other. You are bringing your
mm,
focus from one thing to the other,
mm,
right? To become meditative, you need to face it, what is
mm,
coming, and you need
mm.
to shed what you are not, and what will be left will be that I. So that I
Nice.
am the mind, I am the body, I am.
Mm, mm,
When you
mm.
keep shedding what you are not, that what will be left is that.
Right.
Right? So that is
Mm,
one thing. So during my journey, I am a, like, उन्होंने poet बना दिया. So
mm,
there is one small line from the writings. So I used to say, uh, तू ही है हर जगह पे, क्या
mm,
यहाँ क्या वहाँ पे, आया है आज समझ में, मैं जहाँ तू वहाँ.
mm,
Right? So it is
mm,
just the drishti, and slowly and gradually, and you have seen, whomsoever is at a very, that level, right? They are
mm,
always working for the humanity. They
mm,
become one with them, and they are doing, they are never tired. Whatever they do, you yourself are, whatever you are
mm,
doing it for the masses,
mm,
right?
mm,
How and why? Because you become one with them, na?
mm.
You
Yeah.
cannot do these things on surface. These
Mm.
things can never happen on surface. So it is the outcome, whatever you are doing right now, whatever I am doing right now, whatever anyone is doing right now, it's the
True.
outcome of what they have become. They
Mm.
have become from that individual consciousness to at least come to a collective consciousness and moving
Mm.
toward that divine one consciousness. And that's how our soul journey also happened, where becoming one with that
Mm.
entire cosmos, one word, one family, one heart, it happens. You become that. You become one with that. That point of time, there is no identity of yours. So I
Mm.
have lots many labels, right? But as if in anybody, जो मेरे circle में है, if anybody asks me, so I always say I don't exist.
Mm.
I am existing because everyone is existing. So
Mm.
it's that. So you cannot do that. You cannot just say that. You will find out even in a second what is fake and what is real. So it
Mm.
is of becoming that. That's why my all the coaching programs also, they are all experiential. Why?
Mm.
Because that once the transformation, the transition happened, now you can never come back.
Mm.
You can never come back. So my purpose is to reach out to people to bring their extraordinary. So once you keep shedding what you are not, and
Mm.
once that will come, you can never go back there.
Correct.
Once that droplet goes to the sea, that droplet cannot identify.
Mm.
That cannot come back to that single droplet. It will become
Mm.
that part of the sea. And then I had experienced that there is no starting of that sea, there is no ending of that sea. It's so vast. And you just keep
Mm.
flowing in that, keep flowing in that. And that's what we are here for, to experience. Life is nothing but it's just series of experiences that keep shaping you, that keep changing you, and that keep bringing you closer to what your purpose is.
Mm. Beautiful.
So I think
Love
I
it.
was able to explain what
Absolutely.
I have to. So it's your drishti, the droplet drishti to the sea, not anyone
Mm.
else is doing anything.
Mm. Nice. Love that. Thank you for uh, just being you and
I cannot
and
be any other way. There is
right.
no way.
Yeah.
It used to be, but
And
I still remember
yeah.
that. And I am
Mm.
very
Yeah.
happy and proud on that part of me because that
That's
actually
right.
brought me here.
Yeah. It's knowing that difference that, like what we talk about the contrast. It's
Mm.
knowing that, oh, yeah, I used to be that, but this is me now. Right.
Yes,
And I don't know what that future me will be, but
right.
this is the journey.
Exactly.
Right.
And if you are okay, I just want to
Sure.
give this
Of
thing
course.
to my viewers.
Of course.
So, like Lord Krishna always say that playfulness, even after he was doing
Mm.
whatever he was doing, even after the Mahabharata thing was happening, even then at that point of time, that playfulness with Radha was alive,
Mm.
right? So, people say now we are mature enough, I have grown up. So, there is a conditioning that you should do it and you should not do it. I am a mother
Mm.
of two, right? But I still behave like a 5-year-old kid.
Mm.
Why? Because my past, everyone's past, present, and future all lie
Mm.
in this now. It's
Mm.
on you which part you want, which role you want to play. If you
Mm.
want me to play the role of a 5-year-old kid, I can do it right now. If you want me to play a role of that, what is coming, how I want to be, you can play it right now also. That's what
Mm.
manifestation and things are when you feel it,
Correct.
where you
Mm.
feel it, right? So your past, present, and future always in this now. It's on you whether you want to get stuck in your past, want to get stuck in your future, or you want to be in this now. Getting awareness from your past, be grateful for
Mm.
your past, looking forward with the hope from to your future, and being in this now. Keep moving, and keep flowing.
Mm.
Right. So keep this thing in mind that the way you are going to see yourself, that's the way your world is going to be,
Mm.
right? So I am not only believe I don't only believe in my garden of love, I know and I am seeing it flourishing like
Mm.
anything. And that
Mm.
Vasudev Kutumbakam thing, which a child had a dream of, but that is not
Mm.
my now my reality, and it is growing like anything. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that it had started growing now. No, it
Mm.
started from the very first day when I was born.
Right.
when I was born. So believe in yourself, listen
Mm,
to yourself, because nobody is going to live within you. It's
mm,
only you, and you need to listen to your own voice. The
mm,
more you listen to your own voice, the more you are going to know about you. My mom
mm,
used to say, अपनी लाइफ की ड्राइविंग सीट पे गाड़ी में किसी और को मत बिठाना कभी,
mm.
ड्राइवर तुम्हें खुद ही बनना है.
Yeah.
And that is why from that hardcore, it was a, a very big shift for me, from a
Mm,
hardcore corporate person
yeah.
to switch into that. It took me almost 5 years to bring this thing out to the world, because even though I had accepted that, but bringing it to the
Mm,
world was such a thing because of that judgment,
mm,
right? So again, वो judgment बाहर से नहीं आ रहा होता है. You yourself are not accepting yourself fully, so stop
mm,
judging yourself and listen to your heart. You are meant to do it, start doing it.
mm. Beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you once again, Ruchi. Oh, Ruchi Mystic Flanus. It's been an absolute pleasure to listen to you, and
Same here.
kudos to you for. I know we're in different time zones, and you started your morning,
Yes.
um, or early morning, or mid morning, depending on how you
No,
see
it's
it.
it's almost about 8 a.m. Yeah.
So thank you for spending this time here and sharing your really deep insights. And for me, it's always a pleasure to like I always say, this is my secret but not so secret conspiracy to get to meet people who are like-minded, people who are we are fellow travelers. And for
Right.
me, this is such a blessing that I get to hear your story. And as I said,
Pleasure
it's
is
not
all
just
mine.
for me, but this is an opportunity for other people, because we live today in a digital world where more people get
Yes.
access to these conversations. And I really do believe that even if there's been uh, one idea, one aha, one insight that people have received, and I'm sure they will receive many more. But that's really the purpose, that even that one, literally, one idea, one insight can change everything in an instant. So
Right.
it's been such a uh, joy to listen to your stories,
Same here.
and
It was really
really
a nice time I spent with your and within your energy. So thank you so much for having me here.
my pleasure. And for those of you who've stuck around, especially till this point, you know that you are special, and that there's something about Ruchi's energy that you've tapped into, and a collective energy here. So we're obviously sharing her. You'll see her links. So please follow her on all the various social handles, and of course, reach out to her if you believe that there's something that has really connected with you. And even if that's one way of looking at it, the other is, of course, if you've already thought of somebody, hey, you know what, I know this person will benefit from what Ruchi has to offer, what Ruchi is being. So do share this podcast with them. Of course, we will be sharing not only this live, but you'll also get the recorded video, which will be on both our channels. So please do share this, because that's how this world is. As you said, we move more and more back into being the sea, and
Yes,
that's what makes this life such a joy to live, and we get
exactly.
to have these really amazing experiences along the way.
Right.
So thank you once more, Ruchi. It's been an absolute
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. And as you said, so giving it a closing statement from my side also. So, it's more of being in the sea. Being in
Mm,
the sea is like, then there is no competition. It's always a journey of growing together.
mm,
And
yeah.
the more we are together, the more we'll be able to reach. Because
Mm,
sometimes when you are not able to, then you know that you can lean on the other person,
yeah.
or their energy will push you to the next level of
Mm,
consciousness. So
mm.
that's what it is. So it's always growing together, and keep joining Rahul, and keep grow with him, because he had that potential, and I really love being in his energy, and And
Thank you.
hopefully we are going to keep connecting
Yes,
again and again. So
absolutely.
thank you so much, Rahul, for giving me this opportunity. And it was such a beautiful experience sharing my story with you. It was effortless, it was
Mm.
flawless, and I was actually, as you said, I was the way I am. I was just me.
My
Yeah.
pleasure. And for those of you, not only who stuck around, but just another reminder that um, you're meant to be here. That's why these messages are coming to you. And what you're already doing as a healer, as a coach, it's truly is what we call divine providence. So you're already on the journey, and these messages, these stories are meant to remind you that even if you feel stuck right now, or maybe you're flying at this point, either ways,
Mhm.
just remember that this is the journey. So just keep showing up, just keep being you, and the rest will come from within effortlessly, and you get to share that vision with the world, and that more and more people are benefited by your presence. So once more, Ruchi, thank you so much. And of course, having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. God bless, and we will be
Thank
back with
you.
more pods, more truly amazing guests. And one quick shout out, of course, I must take this moment to thank Devasmita for putting this all together. Like
Yes.
we don't sometimes we don't get to know that there's some, we call it behind the scenes. There are people that
Yes.
are working tirelessly to make these connections a possibility. So
Mhm.
big shout out to her as well. And yeah, we will be back, of course, with many, many more. So thank you. And Ruchi, one more time, thank you so much. Do
Thank
stick
you so
around while I
much.
just close the live stream here.
Sure.